What is going on, comic fans? It's Sunday night. That means this is at week's end. We're about to take a look back at this weekend. No, we're not. A big movie came out, so we're back at doing our regular scheduled thing where we get a special panel here, some special guests, and we just spend the entire show deep diving the brand new movie that just came out. And in this case, it's Captain America: Brave New World. We're going to talk about if Anthony Mackie filled the shield, passed along by Steve Rogers, and talk about the journey this movie took to get here, give our rants and raves about it. And we're going to do all that right after this.
Brave New World. Oh man, I watched the Red Brown Captain America this weekend.
The one with the motorcycle and the see-through shit?
Yeah.
You probably did better.
Now you tell me.
I don't think it holds up as good as they wish it would have, but hey, it's still fun. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Just as a quick reminder to everybody, links in the description to fantastic resources in the community, including big time collectibles. If you're looking for any cool exclusive retailer variant stuff like that, if that's your jam, they got you covered. And they just got done with MegaCon, so they might have some cool stuff up on the website available if you missed out on the con. And if you need anything clean pressed or submitted to any of the grading services, Justin Comics has got you covered. Let them know you found via the channel. And also, if you need new comic books and you don't know where to get them, ABX has you covered. The community's comic shop, linked also in the description. So resources, check. Paul, check. Guest panel, check. Yeah, DJ Links.
What's up, dog? Brave New World. I thought we were going to talk about the Gorge.
The Gorge was fire, bro. We got Jonathan Medici, random number, aka J-Med, aka John Comic Avalon, the creator of Eric, here with us, who's also legit a movie scholar by profession. So, eesh.
Well,
and then I'm super excited for a second appearance on the show, hailing all the way from the foreign land of Florida, not far from Paul. We have the host, one of two of the hosts of the Unchosen One podcast, my favorite pop culture podcast on the interwebs. If you follow me on any of my social media platforms, this is the one that I'm always sharing out. We got Jay himself. How are you doing, homie?
Good, man. How are you? What's up, everyone?
Doing good.
I went to MegaCon and I had a great time. And my one regret is that I did not get to meet the Unchosen Ones.
I know. I didn't even know you when I saw you on Instagram. I was like, "Oh, he was there." I
couldn't get them out of the Winchester's car.
Yeah, I was gonna say you knew where they were. They're sitting in that car. At least Dave probably didn't leave that.
I tried to start it up, but no, it didn't work. Tried to hotwire it.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that picture, I'm like, they're in heaven right now.
Yeah, that was the best.
That's been a reoccurring thing on the show in the past months. But I'm going to say hey to the chat real quick, see all we have in here with us tonight. And we'll get rocking and rolling. But of course, we got Las Cruces, 1981. Good morning. He clocks in early. That was at 10:22 today. And he popped back in with the hooray this afternoon. And then he's here for the show right on time with woohoo. We also have none other than Chris, the comic vet, popped in to drop a couple comments. And let's see who else is up in here. We got J-Med himself is in here. What's up, everyone?
Who's that guy?
Haven't heard of him. Cliff on Comics, how are you doing?
What's up,
Pops? Hello, Pops. The one and only Christina Payne. Hello. The busiest woman on YouTube, easily, right?
Definitely.
She doesn't just watch content.
It doesn't make content.
Yes, and she doesn't make content, and she doesn't simply watch content. She works for content. Be sure to Red Hulk smash that like button, will do. What's going on, White Tiger Triple C? Hello to you. Hello. Coco Love Chevy's in the building. He just saw the movie today. I talked to him on the phone earlier. Wasn't a fan. Labruski, what's up, homie? Good to see you in here. Brian LCS, hello. Digger Jim, what's up? He just got his stickers in. I saw on the show where y'all got stickers. I got to get some stickers.
You got the Unchosen Ones. Yeah, how do we get stickers here?
Anyone who wants stickers, just send a request in on Instagram, and we'll send out stickers. We left with 100. We came back with like 102. So I think we did pretty good. Not so good, but I got stickers if anyone wants them.
Oh yeah, I'll shoot you a message after the show. Definitely could use some stickers. Just dropping by to say hello. I've not seen the new Captain America movie, so I don't want to hear any spoilers. Definitely just put it on mute. You keep Reb's name out your mouth, Paul. Rad, what is going on? Hope you're doing good today. Hello, hello. This movie is the first Marvel movie I actually walked out on and didn't finish. Terrible writing, acting, extremely boring. Just my personal take. Yeah, and we'll get into that. It's kind of hot or cold with this one. There's people that were just very not into it, and then there's people that are very happy with it, and there's not as many in the middle of the road takes as I expected.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, John, as much as movie tickets are, I wouldn't walk out of anything. Yeah, no matter what. Also,
yeah.
Jay's daughter's cosplaying.
You can actually,
I don't know what she was. Some fairy fantasy.
as long as the movie isn't over, you can get your money back on a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
As long as it's not over, you can go back. You can get your money back.
I wish that worked on food. I only ate 9 out of the 12 ribs. I'm gonna need this prorated. Saw Nick on Jay's video when he showed Del Auto signing. Yeah, Nick's been everywhere all over Instagram. Our buddy Nick was working one of the booths. He was working for Scott's Collectibles with Del Auto.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a bodyguard with a gray goatee area.
Yeah. I met him. Yeah, he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Super good. Bright ass shoes though. No matter where he is, brightest shoes.
He looks
Herb, what's going on?
He looks like Kratos without the red scar going down his face.
Exactly. Yeah. What's up, Bart? Bart just got out of the movie today as well. Me either. Mark made me go. I did. It's what I do. Hello to all the cool people on the panel and in the chat. What's going on, Paul?
What's up, Paul?
We're at ABX. Sledge said, looked to me like the original story was going to be rehash of Winter Soldier with Isaiah Bradley, then rewrites made it a disjointed mess. Evil's Comics, hello. Wasn't excited about the film at all. Trailer sold me, found the idea of Sam facing off against the Hulk compelling. Classic comic book stuff. Yeah, I think that was definitely the marketing team's lean into was the Red Hulk aspect. But as always with these things, we're just going to go around the horn and just give our rating. Just our rating, not our reasoning. Just drop our rating out there, and we'll kind of go from there. But Paul, what do you rate it?
As a fourth movie in the Captain America franchise, I would give it about a 4 out of 10. As a third movie in the Incredible Hulk saga, I would give it probably a 6 out of 10.
Fair enough. DJ?
I give it about a 6.5 to a weak, like 7 handies, but 6.5 probably more like
All
it.
right. Jay?
I give it like a B+. I'm pretty much in line with the 80% score for the fan meter. I think it lays right in there.
And John?
I'm going to do the Commodus.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a thumbs up. I'm impressed. I give this one a solid yellow, slap dab in the middle. Solid yellow, slap dab in the middle. So, man, where do we even start? It's kind of hard to figure out where to start because this movie has so many different plots and points and threads and stuff. But just, I guess, with the idea of this out the gate, do y'all think Sam lived up to the role? Like that was the big contention that a lot of people have. You have the illogical, outrageous haters. He's not Captain America. He's not Captain America, which he is. This is a phase through the comics and the phase in the movies. It is what it is. He is. Y'all think he lived up? Did he fill out the suit? Did it work for you?
I think he filled out the suit. I think the problem is that they didn't really write him to be a very good Captain America, is my problem.
Yeah, the writing, I think Anthony Mackie did the most that he could with the script, but I still think he completely conveys that kind of earnestness that
Absolutely.
Steve did, but in his own way, not as being such a Boy Scout. He puts his own spin on it, but you still get that Captain America feeling from him.
Yeah, I'm a big Anthony Mackie fan, and I was rooting for this movie for Anthony Mackie, and I think as much as he could fill out the role, because he's still his own character. Mm-hmm. I think they did a good job not trying to make him emulate anything of Steve, and he just took on his own. He already has all the same like values and morals that Steve does as the Falcon, as Sam Wilson. So there's no reason to change anything about Sam Wilson other than just like, I don't know, the pressure that he was going through, like carrying the shield and the mantle. But I think he did a good enough job. Like I have read the comics of his time through it, and I can say very confidently that this movie does a way better job of elevating Sam into the role and it being like a smooth transition than the comics did. The comics, it was terrible in the comics, to be honest with you, but this was solid compared to that.
Yeah, for me, I think he did a decent job as Captain America, but he's not a lead actor. So I struggled there, and I struggled with just the choice of actors. Aside from him, aside from Harrison Ford, everybody else, it was just like made for TV actors. I don't know. They didn't have like the gravitas to be on the big screen, if that makes any sense.
John,
I say gravitas up in this piece.
you did.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm out.
I think DJ's take is pretty solid. I would agree with that. Even some of the casting choices were, like I couldn't help but notice that what was it? The president's bodyguard. You could hear her European accent coming through, and I kept saying, "Why is a European accent coming through on a what was that with like Secret Service agent?" I don't know. I didn't get that. But I think my take on the movie, if you like going to the theater, this is a fun theater movie to go to, and it's worth going, on a matinee price or something like that. About the, did he fill out was he a good Captain America? I think the script there was fundamental things that held back the narrative, like from being stronger than it was. So I think he did the best that he could, and I don't know that I would go to see this again, but what I would pay to see is actually the original cut of the movie, because I'm really curious to see, like, wait a minute, what were they like? Where were the relationships that are absent in this movie? There's like, when you start a movie, you want to get introduced to a character. It's like, we just skip that. We're just going to do an action sequence, and we're going to fly right into the plot. It was like, wait, where are the relationships? And I kept trying to like piece together as I was going through the movie. I was like, I think there was a lot more here. And then they lost those storylines, and then it just became like,
and my whole thing was like with the script is his big thing to defeat the Red Hulk was just mention Betty. That was his big
Martha.
Thing. Exactly.
Yeah, they didn't really have a plot.
Exactly. And the other thing too was, I mean, if you're talking about emotional gravitas, to me, that's when Betty appears. And then that's when he turns out of the Hulk. Not at the very end, so she can just walk in and say hello and then walk back out. She walks in there, and when he's the Red Hulk, and that's when he sees her, and that's when that's when he turns back into Thunderbolt Ross. But yeah, that's what I mean about. I think he played what they gave him to do well, but they didn't give him this big thing to solve everything and to be Captain America, really, to me.
Like, to John's point about the original version of the movie, I would love to see that original version to see how worse it was than this one for them to do this one.
That's what Pops put out in the post, and I guess that's worth kind of unpacking a little bit. So the missing relationships, like you say, some of that was introduced in the TV show, because this movie this movie picks up the narrative and carries it from multiple things, from the Captain America franchise, from Avengers 2 with the Avengers disassembling and the Sokovia Accords, from Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, from Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, from the Eternals. It really picks up some missing plot threads from way back when, which is in a sense a good thing, because they are abandoned plot threads. But this movie also underwent extreme delays, extreme rewrites, reshoots, and it was reported early on that they scrapped the movie in whole like 2 different times. And
there was a whole scenes with Seth Rollins as part of the Serpent Society that they totally did away with. He obviously didn't even appear in the movie.
Yeah, we got 2 characters from the Serpent Society instead of who knows how many. I'm thinking there's a version where they're our main villains and the leader's not even in it, possibly.
Yeah. So was Seth Rollins supposed to play the role of Sidewinder? The reason why I asked that is because clearly the scene where Sam is talking to Giancarlo Esposito, just the scene where they're talking, they're not there. Or they're not there together, I should say. And that just seemed really, really weird. The same thing with the leader, where the leader's talking with Sam. Clearly, they're not there.
Oh yeah, they even made the leader a little fuzzy when they were out on the yard at the end.
Yeah,
he was grainied over for some reason.
Shout out to the leader's haircut too.
I think this movie overall, like the biggest thing I love about the MCU is that it is all connected. That's like one of my favorite things about it. You know, this talks about that show talks about that, all these things. And as someone who watches every damn bit of it, I love all the callbacks to all the shows. Like you get rewarded if you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. This movie rewards you for that, for watching.
Yeah, that's where they introduced our new Falcon. We got the whole introduction of Hakeem over there.
Right. Yeah, but I agree with you, but I wasn't prepared to have to call back to an 18-year-old movie.
Yes. To fall to that point, like I was sitting down, there were two guys next to me as the credits were rolling, and they had no idea what was going on. Right. So they're like, "Who's that green dude? Who's this? Who's that?" And I'm like, "Bruh," and I'm dying. And then my wife is just like, "That's what you sound like on Fridays."
Yeah.
These were things people kept asking for. Like, when are they going to do? When are they going to pay off the leader? When are they going to pay off the Celestial? You know, when are they going to address these things? This movie, overall, this movie moved the MCU storyline forward,
very forward.
In
and
a substantial way.
I was a fan. I was a fan of that idea with them calling back, despite it being that old, because I've said it before. Like you can't really go into these things thinking about the person that was sitting next to DJ who isn't committed to the franchises. They just, let's just go check this movie out kind of people. I hope you enjoy it. But this is geared toward the comic fans. Yeah. This is a comic book movie, and the comic fans do know that callback. So I like that. And the Eternal sticking out of the planet, we all knew it was coming from the trailer, but that was kind of one of the coolest parts of the movie.
Cool. And adamantium. I think the adamantium obviously opens up the X-Men, I think.
Yeah, it's huge.
You know?
That's huge. And a line in the sand they drew right away. Adamantium is stronger than vibranium. That's always a debate. But in this world, in the MCU, adamantium is going to be stronger.
Yeah, I would have loved if they had dropped like Stryker's name just in reference to like the adamantium thing. Oh, we have a team coming in to take this, blah, blah, and just mention Stryker's name. That shit would have set me off.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. What did y'all think of the choreography? So when I watched this, like from the first opening scene and the fights and stuff, I was pumped at that point. Like
scenes were great
from that landing and everything. But by the end of the movie, I looked at Dad and I'm like, I feel like the choreography is greatly decreased. Like if you go back and you watch, and just taking the Falcon, like my only bar for this film was to watch the Falcon do cool stuff, because I love. There's just something about seeing a man fly with wings. I've been saying it's just cool to me. But he didn't do anything that we haven't seen him do already. And to that point, he didn't even do as much stuff as we've already seen him do. So it's almost like the choreography team, the stunt coordinators, was like the B team compared to what we've seen Anthony Mackie do in previous films. And it definitely caught my attention.
I think part of that, to me anyway, was because in the first three movies, the throwing of the shield was always the big part of the fight. Right? Anthony Mackie threw it like 12 times, 13 times, something like that in the movie. That was his first go-to, was to throw the shield. So it took out some of the choreography, like you say, between the individuals, I think.
That's fair. And I think the trailer might have spoiled us a little bit. If they would have saved a couple of things, like I understand they're really needing to sell this movie to the audience, because they didn't have they had lower projections, I think, and they had a lot of money in it. But that one scene when he just puts the shield right in front of him and puts the wings out and just flies straight through the missiles. Had they saved that, that could have been our moment in the movie, but we kind of got burned on those early on. So
you didn't like the missile surfing?
That was legit cool. I'm like,
that was awesome. I thought that was cool. I mean, why wouldn't you want missile surfing?
Right, exactly.
And I like when he brought the jet down proper.
I think he did a lot of things with the wings.
That was really cool.
He did a lot of things with the wings that you hadn't seen before. What about the shield flying on Redbird? That was badass.
That was super cool. Yeah, now that I think about it, there were a few things.
Sliced through some things with the wings.
They burned us on that in the trailer, I think.
He did the Spartan thing with the shield with the wings. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I forgot about that, where he had Red Wing just holding the shield behind him while he's flying, just so he doesn't get hit. That was legit cool.
Yeah, but the part that you said, Mark, with the wings where he blasts the missile through, I wish they didn't show that in the trailer, because that was just like a moment that we were robbed of in the theater.
Yeah, well, when they showed it in the trailer, I remember watching that in the trailer for the first time and doing that, going, "Oh snap!" Like it was a cool moment.
Definitely.
There's some cool stuff in there. The
my favorite part was getting back in my vehicle. Yeah, shout out to John. Yo,
yeah, CJ up in here. What's going on, homie? Reminds me, how many days are left on your Kickstarter, CJ?
That's a good question. I'll look it up over here.
You know, he's got his own Kickstarter running for his first little project.
Oh, send that
Parts
through.
of the first of the Masked Man when they got out of the prison, I'm pretty sure, is Seth Rollins.
4 days, he says.
The only reaction in our packed theater was the leader's reveal. Got mass gasp. Yeah, what y'all think of the design for the
I think
leader?
he looked good.
I
think that's as good as you could have made that character look without it being goofy.
Without
right.
doing the actual tall boy.
I think he looked really good as a Hulk guy. Like, I was happy with the movie because it's a Hulk sequel.
Right.
But I was really happy with the leader's design. It was as realistic as you're gonna get, like you said, Jay, without him looking goofy.
Yeah.
I was cool with the look. I was cool with his setup. I was cool with his backstory, but his actual execution, like, I got the vibe like this guy, like they're like he's great. He can do probabilities, and then he just doesn't succeed at anything. He doesn't succeed at nothing. Like
Bad
there's an
track record.
84% chance I would have turned around, but you're standing here. You surprised me. Fast forward to the next time you see him. Oh, you surprised me. The next time you see him,
that's 16% though.
you ruined my whole plan, so I have to turn myself in.
Classic comic book villain.
Isn't it though? Yeah, but this one lacked the level of danger, despite their like them telling you like there's this like the world's big countries are coming to a head, the leaders, this and that. There's really never any sense of like urgency that this is a pressing danger.
And that did a disservice to Anthony Mackie.
Yeah. But he wasn't really like the big bad. He was being manipulated as well by Ross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was also frustrating that Ross didn't just like not arrest Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that he knew the whole time. I'm like, yeah, why? But he's turned a new leaf. He's legitimately turned a new leaf, but he's not to Isaiah, to everyone, just not Isaiah. So there's some stuff like that I think were like a victim of the rewrites.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Isaiah was pretty cool. I was wanting a flashback so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just a phenomenal actor.
that would have been good.
Yeah, Pops pointed out when we were sitting there, he's like, "That's Martian Manhunter."
Like, right,
like,
from Supergirl.
That's Martian Manhunter. Like, oh yeah, cool. It's also Mantis from the old TV show from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some solid stuff in there. What do y'all expect that it's going to lead to? You think Anthony Mackie is going to get to lead the Avengers? Because that was something that they that's something they really brought up, and we've talked about it a lot, Paul. The biggest disservice that they've done to the MCU post Endgame is didn't rush Anthony Mackie to forefront the MCU, to put together a team and lead a team. Do you think we're finally going to get it?
They have to. He says it like 12 times in the movie. I'm putting it over the Avengers. I'm putting it over the Avengers. I'm putting it over the Avengers.
But then Ross tells him, like, not long after they mention it, that the deal's off the table.
I think once the Russos get a hold of it back again, they're going to use Mackie just fine. They know how to do it.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think there was also a missed opportunity to bring in like Nick Fury at the end or something like that, like to really put the stamp on Captain America on Mackie.
I think the others are people from other universes. It's going to be. That's what I think the others are.
Yeah, that was the Secret Wars. That was our first Secret Wars setup.
Yeah. So he doesn't know anything about the multiverse. He hasn't been involved in any multiversal things.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is kind of circling around one of the like. I thought there was flaws in the narrative that like handicapped the like upper limit of what this movie could even be in terms of entertainment value. Like as soon as what's his name like tries to assassinate the president, like we know that someone's manipulating him because we've seen this storyline with the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But then it's like a mystery for the next 30 minutes of the movie as they're trying to figure it out. And that's a flaw in the writing in that the audience is ahead of the characters in the movie. So it's like inherently we're just like, figure it out already. Like, why can't you figure this out?
Right.
And that, whether you realize it or not, it makes the movie kind of not work as strong as it can be. So I thought as soon as that hit, like as soon as the assassination, I was like, oh, he's something making him do this, and no one seemingly knew that in this world. I was like, that's a narrative flaw that, it works in a bubble if you don't know. But we were just talking about, like, one of the things that this movie did really well was bringing all these other elements. It's like, well, seemingly every single person in the United States government doesn't know about Bucky Barnes, but they all do. So I was like, man, figure that out really quickly, and then we could have moved on to like new storylines and integrated other characters and stuff, or done so many things. And I also thought that was a disservice too by, again, what we hit on earlier was showing us the Red Hulk so much in the trailer when he's really not in the movie all that much. I was like, kind of at the like 90-minute mark, I was like, all right. I've been waiting. So those two things like were for me probably the most disappointing, and not that like it was like I was like, figure it out already. We already know, or get us to what we want to see. Some of the stuff I was really, really cool though. I did like the action sequences. I thought when Red Hulk was chasing down the Falcon, that was absolutely badass. I was like, okay, here we go. That's sick. So that was my highlight of the action. I guess I'm circling back to that, but even in the first scene when he does the superhero landing, I was like, wait, are his legs obliterated?
No, he has the Wakandan technology in there that absorbs hits.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There's a solution to that.
Yeah, that was them introducing us to the suit in that moment. I think it was supposed to surprise the audience if you didn't know, because not long after that scene, you see him do the release of all the energy. It builds up kinetic energy just like Black Panther's suit would. It's made of vibranium.
And that's the answer to the question everyone was, how could he fight him? But he can with that because he can take the hits.
How cool was that? When he first hulked out and Hulk swung the first punch and it hit and rang the vibranium, and Sam goes, damn.
That was a good setup in the beginning. That's why they introduced it, and he like talked about that it was a gift from the Wakandans and stuff, because how else would he be able to fight the Hulk, which was also a callback to like not a deleted scene, but a scene that was supposed to be in Endgame where Hulk punched T'Challa, and then he went and took Hulk's that punch, that energy, and then released it against the bad guys, which I think was pretty dope.
And to your point, Mike, I would argue that Hulk's punch is way more powerful than that supersonic landing that Cap made. I would argue that all day.
Wait for it.
Yeah, wait for it. And that was pretty cool with the suit and everything, because they did address it. It's not invincible, and it's met its match kind of thing. And I have enjoyed your little campaign, calling out the people that are, he doesn't have the super soldier serum. How does he fight the Hulk? How does he fight the Hulk? And
at least watch the movie first.
My argument's always been he can't, but neither can Steve, is the thing. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the Edward Norton Hulk. When a super soldier fights the Hulk, it doesn't end well for the super soldier, and that's how it would go for Steve. As a matter of fact, hey Paul,
is that it? Is that all you got?
He literally takes a god in the first movie and starts whipping him around.
Yeah, so that's what happened with Steve.
He was like Wish.com super soldier.
Yeah, it's still more super soldier than not.
Yeah, but that was clear. That was no protection at all.
No. all Steve can do is survive. Just like fighting Thanos, all you can do is survive long enough. That's it.
It's not like Sam was holding his own in that fight either.
No,
he was getting his. He was one step away, or one cherry blossom away from his skull getting crushed.
Yeah, slowly getting dismantled, just trying to figure out what to do. Right. And he even says that he has a great He tells them like, Ross, you can kill me with one punch, but listen, please.
Yeah. I've got the magic word.
They did not nerf the Hulk at all for this movie. Not at all.
No nerfing in this one.
And it made me want Savage Hulk even more. Savage Green Hulk even more. Like, I love too the Red Hulk, the little detail, like how has those fire powers and how his clothes were singed.
Yeah,
off.
burning.
Opposed to, him.
Yeah,
Just
when he was transforming and his hand
Mhm.
hit the ground, just
Right.
the heat that's radiating off of him was
Oh, they
burning
did that
stuff
character well. They did Red
Yeah.
Hulk very well.
perfectly.
Yeah.
What do y'all think they're going to do with the vibranium thing? So for those that haven't seen it that are watching, the giant celestial that's been sticking out of the earth, being completely ignored by every single movie and character and writer up until this point, has been revealed that when it turned to stone in the Eternals, it's not just normal stone. When you chip away at it and refine it, it's actually vibranium.
Adamantium.
I'm sorry, adamantium. And that's the new hot commodity on the planet, which they kind of did a good, like whether it was written smoothly is definitely neither here nor there, but they did address the fact that this has been here for 5 years, but the First Nation has just now successfully harvested a sample and refined it and figured out what we're going to call this. It's a new element. It's adamantium. So it took that time to do that work kind of thing. And we all know how difficult adamantium is and how hard the work with it must be. So it's not like that would have been a quick process anyways. They had to probably develop new technologies to even pull that stun off. But what do y'all think about how they handled that, the whole celestial thing in general?
I think it was fine. I wish it wasn't, I don't want to say wasted. That's not the right way I want to put this. But I wish it was in a movie that kind of meant more, if you understand what I'm saying. Because I don't think like this was the movie to like introduce adamantium and so many other elements. I don't know. I think it got lost here. But I think them calling back to it, finally addressing the Tiamat in the middle of the Indian Ocean and then adamantium. It was just too much stuff for me, if that makes any sense.
Dude, personally, I enjoyed this stuff because it even had a slow little piece of a third act there. But narratively speaking, how did it work, John?
The adamantium ad?
Yeah, the whole celestial presence being a story plot in this. The adamantium.
Oh man, I think I think it's fine. I really think that they could have done. Like I said, I would be really, really curious to read the original script or see the original film and see what they did.
I bet it wasn't in it.
What's that?
I bet it wasn't in it.
You think so?
I'll tell you why. The original title of this movie was Captain America's Serpent Society. That was the original announced working title. The second announced working title after they scrapped that, and that's why I think the Serpent Society was obviously the original big bad. Mm-hmm. They reduced their part in it, thought of something else, called it New World Order. Well, because of real world events, they didn't want to do that. So they did rewrites and other stuff again and changed it to Brave New World. If you remember at the end of the film, they used the name of the movie, Welcome to the World Where Adamantium Exists. It's now a Brave New World. So that's what the whole title was about. What does Brave New World mean? A world with adamantium. So that was, in my mind, that's all last minute stuff and great way. It was a thin plot of a way to get Ross to move through your story, the whole treaty thing that wasn't that important for us viewers, but that's all Ross talked about through the whole movie just to get a Red Hulk scene. I think it was a last minute add-in.
I mean, in a weird way, I'm going to almost contradict myself. I think for like piecing together the movie, it might be like the best version they could have got out of it. I think it worked. I mean, I would go back to actually DJ's question about seeing Stryker or something like that. Wolverine's going to predate this adamantium though, right? I mean, even if they're integrating in any of these storylines, so how's that going to work in terms of how did Wolverine get his adamantium if this is supposed to be the beginning of the arrival of adamantium?
Well, Wolverine doesn't have his adamantium for a long period of his life.
No, I know that, but I mean,
Wolverine from Deadpool does not exist on
this universe. All right, so
the 20th Century Fox Wolverine has nothing to do with this universe. So this universe's Wolverine is still just James, and he has no adamantium, and who knows what he's doing, and he hasn't been recruited for the Weapon X program yet. Stryker hasn't even thought about looking for him.
All right, fair enough. I'm on board then, and I guess I'm just ready to see those movies. get me to the next one. But yeah, in terms of like the actual narrative itself, I mean, the way that it almost felt like, to be honest, I mean, if you want me to go like straight on like clinical execution of screenwriting, it was the end of. I mean, it came to, so basically at the 90-minute mark of a movie, which the end of Act 2, it's supposed to be the end of your movie and then thrust you into an entirely new movie, which this movie did to like absolute cookie cutter. In essence, like that big fight with the ships, that was 100% the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, oh yeah, by the way, stick around, we're going to fight the Red Hulk for the next, 25, 30 minutes and wrap this sucker up. So in that regard, like I think it kind of probably functioned as best they could. Again, I would absolutely love to see what the original script was and see how it got here and what they did and how they pieced this together. And maybe the editor of this movie, I mean, needs to win like an Academy Award because, I mean, that team must have never slept.
You said the Fantastic Four?
What's that?
What did you say?
No, I said that editing team must not have ever slept.
Right.
I mean, to get this thing to be coherent and piece it together. And I mean, I felt like even to be honest, the choreography and the fights, not only were there stuff that kind of looked like they weren't in that scene, but the fighting itself looked different to me. Mm-hmm. The opening sequence looked like it had a different fight choreographer than what we saw later in the film. So, I mean, I think you can clearly see all the different elements here. But with regard to the elemental or the adamantium ad, it led to an organic end of the second act of the film, but I think they could have done more. They could have directly used it. They could have fought over it. I mean, this is me being like this is not a story note, but like me being kind of a military nerd, I guess. Like shooting 6 missiles at a U.S. carrier is what I think the Japanese army fired. That's got no shot at doing shit to an American. Our Sea Whiz and our battle groups, like they needed to blow that thing out and have 30 or 50 or 100 missiles coming at it and then have Falcon go ham on those. I think that was more of the thing that stuck out to me in terms of like not doing a little bit of research on the capabilities of what our naval groups can do, our battle groups can do. But other than that, like the action in that scene was badass. Falcon was cool, like really cool. So yeah, I think it works.
Yeah, I heard somebody make a mention of that. Like the most unrealistic part of this movie was pretending like these countries would have to go square up for ownership of the Celestial, when in reality, one of them would just show up and it would be theirs.
Now I'm not a big Marvel comics guy, but in the comics, is that where adamantium comes from as well?
No,
I didn't think so. Okay, so they're doing it specifically. So then obviously I think they're doing it more to set up something in the future than they really had to do it for anything that was to serve the current movie that it's in.
And yeah, adamantium is an alloy, isn't it? In the comics, it's made of vibranium and something steel or something else.
And if it's indestructible, how do you harvest it?
Exactly.
Well, that's what I was saying. That in my opinion, that kind of, for the comic nerds watching it, that kind of explains why this, like, it's so long since they've addressed the Celestial, because if it is adamantium, they would have had to figure out how to harvest it, because clearly somebody figured out how to do it, i.e. Stryker, enough to be able to put it on someone's skeleton, so they had to discover all new technology to even work with it. But this is a great comment too. Honestly, love the return to cookie cutter films. Marvel got way too comfy with the silly jokes and making fun of the premise. That was a huge win for this movie, is it did have a different tone and feel from what we've seen from for a while now. It was a kind of a return to genre, really, because we've been just having MCU had its own genre with its, copy, paste, repeat kind of formula and style and jokes and all that. This was not like that at all.
Yeah, it didn't open with the Marvel bumper either. First one.
Exactly. Yeah, first time.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
It didn't have,
just
it
went
didn't
like
have the comic
Brave New
World
World.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right. They
it was like a black and
do more
white
like
movie,
right? Like a political thriller, like a Pelican Brief. That's the tone they were going for.
that the way it did start with it looking a little old school, I looked at Pops and said, I think we're about to get a flashback, because I legit thought I was going to start with maybe like a flashback to Isaiah. I didn't know how much he would be in the movie or not be in the movie, but yeah, I enjoyed the more serious tones. The only comedy anything in this movie was just whenever Joaquin opened his mouth. But because it was a situation where that's just his personality, it's not a forced joke on a character who would otherwise be serious. Despite it being annoying at times, it fit the movie. He was a consistent character, and the rest of the movie was definitely taken really serious.
Yeah. I think it got caught in between two things. It might have been the original script was too politically charged. It could have been they didn't want to go there. And then they have to, when you have to back that off, you have to make sacrifices to the story. And so they wanted to get back to more not being, quote unquote, preachy or having politics in comics or getting, appeasing that group of people where, I mean, it's ridiculous because politics has always been in comics. But to get away from, and I don't think they were ever doing that, but I think they were trying to appease a certain group that are tired of being, quote unquote, preached to. Which that's not my take. I think it's what they did for business.
Crowd. Yeah, you can call them the anti-woke crowd.
Right. Anti-woke crowd, right. To appease that business decision. And I mean, it did make what, 190? I mean, that's not bad.
Well, domestically, it did 100, which was between 5 and 10 over projection. So it's overperforming. I mean, even if it's overperforming by $1, it's still overperforming projections. And they made a few sacrifices.
Right.
Yeah. They made a few sacrifices. Our character Ruth was actually Sabra, which we know that originally when they started making this movie so long ago, things in real life world have happened where they're like, okay, and I don't think, and man, I really don't even like to say, because like you're appeasing the woke crowd or appeasing the anti-woke crowd, you're really just making common sense business decisions. You want this to be accessible to the most wallets possible. And this is a fictional world. You can be very political, and it's dicey having to write these things so far in advance, not knowing what's going to happen. And, like real world gets drug into stuff sometimes, and it happens both directions. But I think they did a good job letting this still be a fantasy world. You can take whatever metaphors you want from it, but they weren't being preachy about nothing real worldy in here.
Yeah, because now they're getting hit from the other side saying, why isn't the movie having a strong enough take on what's going on today? So now you're getting hit by the other end, because it's not, it's, hey, you're being a coward, they say. That's a comic book movie. I mean, metaphors are great, but I want to see inside the Celestial. Like, I want to get in there. I want to know what's going on in there. Right?
That would have been awesome if you would have flew in there.
Yeah, is it Indiana Jones in there? What do they do? What do they got? The trading cards. What's happening in there?
Harry Styles is in there.
Yeah, I want to know what's in there. But I don't think this was the movie to go in there, but I think it was a good movie to bridge to the next one, because we got a mention of it. The world knows about it. We know everyone wants a piece of it, and we know there's more than probably adamantium in there, because they were mining nowhere forever, all kinds of stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff in a Celestial.
And that's true. I wonder if there's a difference between what Nowhere was constructed out of, because it was like a living Celestial that it was just
a Celestial's head.
The
Celestial's head for so long. And this one was like a Celestial being born that kind of just got kind of cut off. I didn't think about that. I wonder if there's a difference in them.
Celestial veal.
If that's if that's the case, that means adamantium's been around forever. I'm firmly convinced Disney hates Harrison Ford and wants to ruin his legacy. Hans, Indy, now this.
Indy was good.
I love Indiana Jones, and I couldn't even finish it.
What?
Yeah, I'll go back and watch it some other time, but I couldn't even finish it. I'm not even gonna lie.
Did you finish Crystal Skull? Because that's the
I watched. When I tell you, I've watched Crystal Skull more time. I've watched every single Indiana Jones more times than I can count, and I could not finish Dial of Destiny. And I love Mads Mikkelsen even.
Yeah,
like it just I couldn't finish. Like, it was so cringe. Like, dude, Indy rode off into the sunset. You did it. You succeeded. So if you're gonna pull him off the shelf just to tell me that his kid's dead, his wife's left him.
Yeah, they had to kill Shia LaBeouf. Oh, it was terrible. They had to kill that character immediately. Swinging
you don't have to kill him right away. He wouldn't
branches with monkeys. That's
he doesn't
what you
have
got.
to be there. He doesn't have to be there under Indy's wing. He doesn't even have to be in the movie, but to do that to Indy, like I don't care about Mutt, but you did it to Indy. You didn't hurt Mutt by killing him off. You hurt the viewer by watching what you're doing to Indy. Like that's crazy. I'm sure that's fine that plenty of people like it and stuff, but like I not for me, man. It was literally just dragging Indiana Jones through the mud, watching him suffer for no reason. That's how it made me feel. And my feelings are valid, I'm told. But we can get into some other stuff because this is a huge year for movies as a whole. Last year was regarded as one of the worst years for performances, like the way they performed at the box office. We're in this weird era. We're getting toward the end of the streaming wars where platforms are trying new things, figuring out stuff. While like 2 weeks from a theater release to streaming service is a bad idea. Canceling physical media is really costing them so much money, and they're trying to figure out what to do to balance it out. What's the sweet spot? And they had countless movies from all the big companies come out last year that underperformed at the box office, with a couple of huge hits in there. Like you had Barbie for Warner Brothers. Oppenheimer was a huge hit. Inside Out 2 is a huge hit. Deadpool and Wolverine. So everyone got a couple in there, and it was really an all or none scenario for these film industries. But this year, we're even farther removed from the lockdowns, and I think the streaming stuff isn't as flashy to a lot of people as it was before. The idea of I can just stay at home, and people are getting more comfortable getting back out. And this year there is a massive slate, and Captain America: Brave New World is just the start of it. We've got Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning coming, which I'm a diehard Mission Impossible fan. We've got Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four, and I don't care what no one says, it's the biggest franchise out there, and this is only the third installment.
Avatar. We got Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, Thunderbolts.
Very excited for Thunderbolts.
Did you see they figured out what the asterisk is for?
Yes.
What is it for?
Apparently, it's on a Japanese poster. There's an asterisk, and at the bottom of the asterisk it says the Avengers were unavailable.
Joke.
So what's y'all's like excitement order for some of these? What are y'all most excited for coming out? Like 3 of those movies are all released in the same month. We're going to get Jurassic World, followed the next week by Superman, followed 2 weeks after that by Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm most excited for Fantastic Four in the sense that it's the first Marvel movie post the Disney shakeup. So it's the first one that was created and filmed and everything post this dude coming back. So I'm excited for it, even though I'm on the fence about Pedro and Thing's voice, but I'm excited about Fantastic Four with Jurassic Park Rebirth coming in a close second. And I'm not a big Jurassic Park fan aside from the first movie, but this one looks amazing. And it got my girl Scarlett.
Yeah, for me, it's Superman, and then probably Jurassic Park, and then Fantastic Four will be the 3. And then probably Thunderbolts is last, but the Mission Impossible one will be 4 for me, probably.
I think I got to go Superman 1 because I'm really curious to see what James does with the writing there. Like if he leans back into what he's really good at, or if he makes a badass Superman movie, will be the question for me. So in terms of excitement level, I'm really curious about that, and I'd like to have a good Superman run coming. Then Jurassic Park, I feel like the trailer is absolute fire. Like I'm ready to go. Check it out. But I think probably Fantastic Four is above Jurassic Park, number 2. Thunderbolts is actually I don't know your guys' thoughts. I thought the new trailer looked really good.
Yes.
when I was watching Captain America, I was like, where'd this trailer come from? Let's go. I'm ready for this one too.
The only thing about the Thunderbolts trailer for me was it seems very apparent to me that Taskmaster is not in any of the later scenes of the movie. Whenever they show the group together after the beginning, like she's not there anywhere. So it's like I kind of felt like it kind of gave away that maybe she doesn't make it.
Yeah, I'm expecting a couple of characters to kick the bucket early on.
Yeah.
Jay, what's your order? What are you looking for?
Oh, definitely. I mean, Superman. I'm going to have like an anxiety attack if that movie is not good. Like
I'm hoping this will
I'm
be
going to
the
be
first
so
Superman
nervous.
project since Christopher Reeve
I'm going
that
to be
you don't
so
complain about.
absolute nervous in the theater, just like rooting. It's going to be like I'm watching Jeter play baseball again. Like, come on, you got to get a hit here. We need a hit. I mean, there's too much riding on it.
Everything,
crazy.
right?
Everything, right? I'm such a big Superman fan.
Yeah.
That's my number one by far.
Yeah, I'm worried
and
about
then last though, I can't believe you guys like that Jurassic Park trailer. That looks like hot garbage.
In the best
hot
way
garbage.
possible. Did you
Like,
get to
how
see the
many
trailer on the
times-
big screen?
Just stop going there. Stop going to that island. Leave it alone.
It's the
You
other
shouldn't
island.
be
It's the
going
second
there.
island. It's the where they.
No,
it's
this
the-
might be
Lord,
the
research
third
island.
island.
The
That's
third
in,
island. It's the
they're
research island.
introducing a third island.
it's this.
You know there's going to be
celestial
cruise ship that
island.
goes to all the islands next. The next one is Jurassic Park Cruise, and it happens on a boat. They go to all the islands, and
Jurassic
everyone
Park, the
gets
musical.
I'd book that. Like, I'd go on that Jurassic Park cruise.
Yeah, why-
eaten.
Like I completely get that, but Jurassic Park dinosaurs in general never go out of style.
Right.
It's one of those things that you like. The first one's the only real great one to be like. That's not even in question. The first one's the only real.
First one's
at this point, the real good one. The rest of them are just for fun, you know.
Yeah, totally for fun. But they get so much leak. You guys will not criticize anything in that movie like you just did with this one.
Oh no,
Like,
I destroyed Dominion. Like I like critically destroyed Dominion, but have fun watching it. Like I took those like the first movie that my kids went to go see on the big screen, and I watched like, man, they dropped the ball completely with this. But I also just watched Chris Pratt drive a motorcycle through a city with raptors, so I'm good.
Right.
Reality went out the window after Captain America. I could rip this movie apart critically, but I enjoy it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I had a blast.
Yeah, I think that's
kind of like that with Jurassic Park. I've accepted my fate of that franchise.
Like, I'm not a fan of the franchise at all, man. Like, even the Chris Pratt stuff, I hated. But this trailer, for some reason, it just looks like fun. It reminds me of Kong Skull Island, where they're putting together the ragtag team in the beginning, and then they're going to
underrated movie. Skull Island. That's a good movie.
Yeah. And
yeah, it's amazing.
It's very underrated.
This one is just fun.
Not on this channel. It's not.
Had a lot of MCU people in that movie too.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
You had Captain Marvel, Loki. You had Nick Fury was in there.
Yeah. Of course he was in there. He's in every movie. He's
John Riley, who was also in Captain Marvel.
John Riley was in there.
Right.
Yeah, he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. My bad. That's like Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
My I think my order for the years, I'm going to cheat a little bit here, but Superman and Avatar are legit tied for me just because of like what I've seen of the Superman stuff. Like I'm super nervous as well. We talk about that often with how much I want it to succeed so freaking bad. Right. And like every day there's something that makes me more nervous about it as well as more excited about it. And it keeps me just right there teetering with like today we got the little thing that James Gunn announced that it will not be as funny as the Suicide Squad. Well, thank God for that.
Right. No,
but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Right.
It should be barely funny at all. But Avatar 3, like I'm ridiculously excited for him. I'm a stan for that franchise. Number 2 is easy, right on its heels with Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, and behind that, legit, is Jurassic Park. Just because I'm taking the kids, I'm looking forward to the whole experience of it. I hope there's a popcorn bucket where they're shoving their hand down a Tyrannosaurus's mouth just to get popcorn or something. Like,
nice. Did you guys see the Red Hulk popcorn bucket, by the way?
Yeah.
Anybody actually get that thing? That thing is awesome.
I almost bought the Shield one.
That one
AMC.
Cool.
Yeah. Jurassic Park premise is dumb as hell, but I love it. I didn't see that one.
No, I didn't see that. Like, that's cool, actually.
Dude, I was like, I was so close to buying that thing. I was like, oh my God, that is awesome. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but yeah, let's go.
And I watch Alien 2 makes me miss old James Cameron. Dude, Aliens is fantastic.
The best.
Yeah.
There's an FX show coming, isn't there? An Aliens
FX
it's
called Alien Earth. Timothy Olyphant in it. Yeah, it's going to be
Have they
super
ever
dope.
showed Earth in that franchise? Or is this going to be the first time you actually see Earth?
Well, Ripley sees Earth in the second one when she's having the dream when she wakes up,
right?
When they first retrieve her, but they don't go back to Earth.
They don't go back there, right?
No, they don't.
They're like falling through Earth's atmosphere at the end of one of them.
In the AVP movies, you're on Earth, but that's as close as you get to it.
Yeah, that's it. Right.
Resurrection never comes close to Earth.
No.
Alien 3, you're on the penal colony the whole time.
Right,
Penal.
it's on Earth.
But no.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
It's gonna be very cool. They've done it in like the novels and stuff. Like you had like the whole Earth Hive novel and stuff. That it's not gonna go good. It's gonna be interesting to see how they play it, for like everyone to be aware of aliens, or if it's gonna be an isolated kind of thing, and especially seeing how it's gonna tie into like Prometheus, because that's as far back as like in Prometheus we were on Earth with some of the. They have like a really great marketing campaign for Prometheus where they got Guy Pearce, who played Wayland and a younger Wayland and stuff.
Yeah.
They had him doing like futuristic TED Talks on Earth about their plan to go out.
That's right.
Because they discovered this planet, the writing and stuff. But it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of knowledge the Weyland-Yutani Corp has had of the xenomorphs before ever discovering them on LV-426. It's another fantastic franchise, but James Cameron's best is still Terminator 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there he is. There's Nick with his bright ass shoes. Hey, yo, look at this panel. And Jay was talking about your shoes earlier. He said he tried to get a signature from Gabby, but he couldn't even see anything. It was too bright. Try and did extensive research into the tech that was available and try to keep it as faithful as he could. Yeah, and I do try to I've reminded myself of this already. When it comes to Jurassic Park, it's been animal like cloning and messing with mutants and stuff from day one. Like the original DNA sequence they had to fill it in with other animals from the very beginning. So they didn't get it right the first time and make a T-Rex or a Brontosaurus. There was a lot of rejects along the way, and this is the island where those rejects are.
I'm raising my hand. I just got excited because Mike says, would love a redo of AVP, but closer to the comics. There's a Predator movie dropping this year. Predator Badlands, supposedly dropping this year. And the Predator is the main character. The movie takes place from the Predator's perspective on a different world or something like that. So I totally forgot about that. That's my number one movie. I haven't seen a trailer. The premise sounds dumb. My number one movie. And John hates that idea so much he just left.
He's out. The future should only be so bright. Yeah, Jurassic Island of Dr. Moreau. Exactly. The
badass standing behind that guy though.
The original AVP stories and stuff, the novels, which that's what the Dark Horse comics were. They were just the comic adaptations of the novels, and there's a lot of similarities to the first AVP movie, where you have like the same protagonist with that girl that fights alongside the Predator. The only difference is at the end, when the Predators come to retrieve the body of their fallen soldiers, she goes with them and trains with them and goes to their home world and stuff like that. And she becomes a badass. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. What do y'all think is going to be the biggest movie of the year financially?
Avatar.
Yeah, that'd be the safe money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope not.
You ain't gonna hear the end of it from me if you do.
It hits at the holidays. It's so those are when you get the most of the time when you get the biggest money makers is over the holidays. All the kids are off from school. Their parents send them to the movies 4 times in a row.
Yeah,
we got some ballsy people in the chat. Superman.
I gotta agree with Avatar, just like Paul said, because of the
that's cheating though. We'll take Avatar off the list.
I take Avatar off the list.
That's a handicap.
Yeah.
Probably Superman, because so we have is Jurassic World, then the following week is Superman, then the following week is just like a I don't know, whatever, a trash week, and then Fantastic Four after that. So Superman is going to have 2 solid weeks at the box office. So I'm guessing Superman is probably going to bring in the most bucks this year.
I'm going to sell them free tickets too.
After Fantastic Four, though, like it's wide open till the next big like fanboy film. So Superman has 2 weeks to perform. Fantastic Four has all year to perform.
No, because doesn't Mission Impossible come out right after Fantastic Four?
That comes out before any of that, doesn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's in May, I think, right? And then the other one is July, I think.
Oh, wow.
That might make more
Those
than all.
movies underperformed crazily for some reason. Dead Reckoning underperformed. God, it was so good too.
It was good.
Dead Reckoning was ridiculously good.
The train scene was a little long.
Yeah.
It felt like they were on that train for half the movie.
Hey, they built that train from the ground up just
cool.
to destroy it. You saw the behind the scene thing. They tried to buy a train to use in the movie because they wanted a real train. They didn't want to CGI a train. They're like,
May
forget a
23rd.
set in CGI. We want a train. No one has a spare train to sell. Apparently, they only make trains because they want to use them. So they had to build their own train.
Wow.
Like
no one had the spare train to sell? That's wild.
Final reckoning is May 23rd, Memorial Day weekend.
Well, if you need a spare airplane, there's literally airplane graveyard. You can go and buy an airplane and take it wherever you want to go and use it to film with. SWAT teams get them and use them for drills and all kinds of stuff. Freaking Christopher Nolan for The Dark Knight Returns, that opening scene when the plane flies over the other plane and hooks up to it and they blow up the back end, and they did that.
Yeah, no, he doesn't like digital effects. Nolan. No. He likes to do the real thing. The
which
ultimate is if Nolan directs
Odyssey?
Cruise and everyone dies.
He's doing the Odyssey, so there's been some great memes. Christopher Nolan now casting for a 7-headed Hydra. No CGI. We're gonna need a 7-headed Hydra, please. Yeah, Splinter is a lot of fun when Luke isn't thinking about how hot his sister is. But so many of the Star Wars sequel ideas were in it.
Splinter.
Superman will be really successful, low budget, dumbed down, fun version of a character. Ugh, man, that wandering eye. Some of these marketing things. This is what's
shut up with the wandering eye.
This is what's killing me is these marketing decisions. You bypass the Super Bowl to do a Puppy Bowl ad with Guy Gardner looking ridiculous that split the audience. The look of Guy is the audience split. Split more than
everyone hates it. Unanimous.
I don't know, man. I put out a little bit of some shorts.
Everyone in the world, they all hate it.
Yeah, all right, got you. But the fans more divided than David Cornsweat's eyes are about Guys.
Oh shit!
Back in the day, you watched the trailer, you couldn't pause it, you didn't have it on your computer, you didn't get to post a 1 out of 24 frames in a second. You're putting that up there. Oh, look at this garbage! I can't believe this. You can do that with I could pick any movie in the world and pause an awkward scene with somebody's face.
That's super true. Now I did not notice it. I watched that trailer. I'm like, holy crap, it looked cool to me. And then it starts getting pointed out by the infamous internet, and then you can't unsee it.
Right, you can't unsee it after that. Right.
So my whole thing is, again, with how much is riding on it, it bums me out that no one who made that trailer didn't look at it either. I assumed that the people
maybe the person did look at it and he's got a bad eye too.
No. They're like, yeah, that looks perfect.
Exactly. I don't see anything wrong with that.
People know how savage the internet is. You got to come over this kind of stuff.
Quality control. Savage. I mean, Cornsweat, when they were filming that scene, he was probably trying to keep an eye on his sandwich.
Exactly.
This better not be a fast food movie. God,
supposedly there might be a full trailer as part of Cinecon, which is in April.
That's right. That was just a teaser.
Yeah.
I want it to be like a living version of one of the the animated series, the original Superman animated series. I want it to have that feel to it.
Yeah, like from the 90s.
Yeah, well, it was like the early 2000s, the Superman animated show. It came on after Batman. Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Or like a Justice League Unlimited. I want that kind of.
That would be
awesome.
Oh, there's bigger ones out there. Trust me, bro. The Avatar fandom is wild, my dude. I think they paint themselves blue just to go to bed. Like I'm following some Avatar pages and stuff. They are wild. That's what I'm saying. It's just a whole different animal than the comic fandom. I remember, when Avatar 2 was coming out, I was so excited. And I'm like the only one in the group of people I hang out with here that are really excited for Avatar kind of thing. And I remember all the people, the comment sections, just dogging it before it came out. What a stupid idea. It's been 13 years. You waited too long. No one cares. No one's going to watch this $2 billion+ movie that just paid off 3 movies in one go.
My fans are so smart.
Every single second that Avatar 3 plays, it's all to the good. Every bit of its profit. Every single second Avatar 4 plays, it's all profit, all off that one movie. Like betting against James Cameron is the craziest thing I've ever seen someone do. He doesn't have a single failure under his belt. I think True Lies was his like.
Oh, that's probably a great movie.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. He doesn't have any failures. I think True Lies is his lowest grossing film, probably.
Oh, right.
Not counting Terminator 1 because like that's, but that's still like 100% rated on Rotten Tomato.
I watch 1 just to watch 2 afterwards.
Yeah,
it's like sauce on the McNugget. It's like I'm just watching 1. If I'm watching 1, I'm watching 2. I'm not watching 1 for nothing.
I know now why you cry.
But that is.
I guess Avatar fans aren't chronically online. Yeah, I don't think so. They're out there. I think a lot of them are outside climbing trees. To be honest with you, I'm telling you, man, the Avatar fandom is wild. They're for it. But that's just a franchise. It's a worldwide audience. He tapped into something. Hey, look, it's got dinosaurs. It's got robots. It's got cool vehicles. It's got military. It's got natives. I mean, it's got everything all wrapped into one movie. Avatar Chads.
It's got overratedness.
All of it. Yeah.
It deserves it.
The story that this planet is trying to help the peace between these two species is beautiful. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be cool. I don't know about the Thunderbolts, though. Don't want to touch on that because that second trailer, it got me.
The song got me. I watched it 3 times in a row just for the song.
Yeah.
I think it was a summer where Manigan was on HBO twice a day for like 45 days in a row back in the day on HBO when they used to play a movie in the morning and then at night every single day. And Manigan, man, I don't know how many times I've seen that movie.
Hollywood, come and get Hollywood. I love that movie, dude.
So the first trailer they did, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to even go see that movie because the first trailer was riddled with the jokes and I'm like, I mean, cool. The characters are there. I don't really care about these characters at all. And I just don't want to go watch another Marvel movie with just crappy jokes carrying a baseless plot. And then they dropped the second trailer. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, no one cares about these characters, but we should. They deserve us to. They deserve a second chance, not just from the viewers, but Disney owes them a second chance because these characters were kind of shit on when we kind of first introduced to them. Taskmaster was shit on, White Widow was shit on, Red Guardian was shit on. Bucky, man, he arguably a lot of people think he should have gotten the shield before Sam. Like all these characters deserve redemption on so many levels, even meta levels. So I'm like, they can really make something special here if they don't drop the ball.
Yeah, I think they picked a unique grouping there that have been like, side items in a lot of the movies. But I think people have a lot of love. But people love Bucky. Mm-hmm. People like Yelena. They love her. She's hilarious.
My wife does. She saw the trailer for the first time in the theater and she got excited.
Yeah.
She loved the Black Widow movie.
Right. Yeah. Those characters also, I think, bring in a bit younger demographic as well. Maybe not more, beyond us, us our age.
What was your guys' theater reaction when Bucky showed up in Captain America?
Yeah,
my theater melted down. Yeah, it was awesome.
People love him.
Yeah. There was people making noise in my theater. There was a good turnout in the theater we were in. We couldn't even get the preferred seats we would typically get. We had to sit a little bit off center. I'm like, ugh.
Right. Yeah, that's why I had to go to the later show because I wanted center.
Yeah. Yeah, people definitely like Bucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
John Walker. I want redemption for him more than anything. Like I don't know why, because I never really liked John Walker or connected with him in the comics. But what this guy's doing, what's his name?
Wyatt Russell.
What's his name's kid?
Yeah, Wyatt Russell.
Russell, right. I think he's like gives me some kind of I really feel for the guy. Like I think he was trying really hard in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and he had the best of intentions and just got like caught up in it. Like I want like redemption for him more than anybody.
And to your comment, Kevin, it's actually overperforming. We touched on that earlier. People are showing up more so than they predicted or thought, but people are showing up.
Yeah, I think any person you put saying the stuff and doing the stuff that Captain America did in this movie would have not been doing a service to the actor.
Mm-hmm. I like Bucky and John Walker. Other than that, it's just throwaway characters. Yeah, John Walker, man, he got the short end of the stick in that TV show, didn't he? Like the one guy that's trying to keep innocent people from dying and stop the terrorists from blowing up more buildings full of women and children. He, like, how dare you hit this murderer with your shield? We have to stop you. And let's go lecture.
I think you watched a different show.
He's so good. He's so good in the Monarch series, though.
Yeah, that definitely happened. right after they killed his partner too. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then he chased them down, took him out with the shield. The terrorists, the what are they? The red flags, the whatever flags, Flag Smasher. They were literally killing people, innocent people, taking their homes. This and that. They were doing heinous acts against innocent people to prove their point.
Yes, but it wasn't about what they were doing. It was about why they were doing it.
Okay. Okay. That makes it okay.
Why? Yeah. No, not make it okay. That's the reason. That's the whole his speech at the end was about the reasoning why they did these things.
Well, I'm going to give you the reasoning that Alan Moore wrote through Rorschach's mouth. When a dog's rabid, you don't try to understand why it's rabid. You just put it down.
Yeah, Rorschach, not the role model you think he is. I don't think.
in that sense, it plays. Yeah, I don't. Me personally, that's where my mind went. Like, I don't care why they're doing this. Nothing justifies your actions of murdering innocent people. Nothing justifies that. Period.
No, it wasn't about justification. It was about why it's happening and why it will continue to happen if you don't change things.
Oh, I got that part. But you need to have that conversation after you kill this woman who's murdering all these people, or at least apprehend her. At least
I don't think
I believe in due process.
They didn't do John Walker injustice in that show. I think that's why I feel for him. I think they made him a sympathetic character, very much. You can see his side of it. You understand, like, his best friend was just killed. He lost it.
Yeah,
you can feel that for him. So I think they did him justice, and I think they're doing a good job in putting him in this movie too to get like some redemption.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. This film stops at $400 to $500 million at the box office. Marvel Studios is going to be disappointed no matter how the public try to spend this. 1000%. There's no way and chance for this movie to win at the box office ever. Not with the situations that the making of this film went under. The budget inflated to over $360 million, and this is interesting too because they waited to the day before release to lift the embargo on the critics, and they waited before the day of release to report the budget and pretend like it was $180 million, which isn't true. The budget's been reported on the whole journey through this process. And I had to actually deep dive the internet to even pull up the articles that are only 6 months old, which was the last time that credible sources like ScreenRant, IMDb.
How can they know? How can anyone know how much the movie costs besides?
Well, you can go read these articles and they tell you where they're getting the numbers from because it was an anomaly.
The accountant's books. That's how do they have this information?
If you check the accountant's books at Disney, what you'll find is a hotbed of crime, which is remember what happened with Bob Chapek. I'm not making this stuff up. Go check. Bob Chapek got in trouble for cooking dirty books to inflate numbers for investors.
Any business that big that you don't think have dirty books, I got a bridge to sell you.
So now you agree with me. Thank you.
No, I agree that all giant corporations mess with their books.
100% agree.
Right.
100% agree. But no, the budget was talked about. People were reporting on it as it went because when they stopped it for the rewrites, when it got pushed back, they were already talking. Like the studios were having these conversations with them, but. So I don't know where this bridge they're trying to sell us came from of $180 million budget. When was the last time the MCU made a movie for $180 million to begin with? And this movie was riddled with CGI.
Plus, you don't have to be a rocket science to say, okay, it's $180 million when you start. You refilm at least half of the movie, and you don't add another dollar to the movie
3 times.
Marketing and all that stuff too.
That's 180 without the marketing and all. But we've talked about it because we do this show on Sundays where we talk about the week of news and stuff, and we've talked about it along the way. So when they reported 180 million, I'm like, what do you mean? The budget hasn't been a secret. I literally did a video like 2 weeks ago where I went through and pulled the numbers and stuff for the July movies, and the only one that's not like actually active where you can get it is Superman, because people are speculating a $300 million budget, and James Gunn has actually come out and spoke about how that's not accurate, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, which it very well could be that much, and they just don't want to talk about it because
could be more. You could say the same thing, and it could be more.
It could just put unneeded press and pressure on the movie they don't want on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't blame them for this overbloated budget. I mean, it's one of those extenuating circumstances kind of movies. But
it's like a sport. I don't care how much money you spend on the players, just win. I really don't give a shit. Just fucking win the game. You know, they put together, they threw some money at this. I got an awesome Red Hulk fight sequence with Harrison Ford, a Captain America movie, moved the story along, adamantium, you had the Celestial, you had all that stuff. That's your problem, how much you spent on it. I spent, $25 a piece. That's what I spent. Just put the good product out there. I enjoyed the product. And, I hope they keep making. I hope that we're not getting to a point where good is not good enough.
Yeah,
because that's going to kill the whole thing. You gotta be able to have just good movies. It can't just all be, Endgame, Winter Soldier. Some of them are going to be Iron Man 3. Some of them are going to be Dark World. They get you to the next point in the story.
I was super happy with the scale and scope of this movie. I didn't want it Avengers level stuff, and at this point, I don't see how anyone could expect that. How it's been a long time since Endgame, and we've gotten a lot of movies that weren't Endgame. No. And this was by far, for me, not nearly the worst of post Endgame stuff.
Not at all.
Ant-Man 3, I enjoyed it enough the first time I watched it. It's not rewatchable for me. Doctor Strange 2, I enjoyed it enough when I watched it. It's not rewatchable for me. The Marvels was a dumpster fire. Wakanda Forgettable had Submariner looked cool fighting. That was about it. I watched a woman drown in a skyscraper. Fuck off.
It'll be interesting to see where this movie ends up, because I have stated my theory on the show before that has Marvel now, in order to have a successful movie, do they need to have Avenger level movies in order to have successful movies?
No, it's not sustainable.
Because they have, it's not, but have they trained the audience that those are the only movies they're going to go to? You give me gobs and gobs of heroes, and I'll go see a movie.
I have a good feeling that Thunderbolts is going to do very well. I have a weird feeling about that one. It's going to surprise people.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a sleeper hit, man.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think the solution has to be easy. And I know tons of people have talked about it. All you have to do is rein in your budget. If you have a movie that it's a solo character outing, rein in your budget where you don't have to make $1 billion for it to be a huge success for you. An $800 million movie, a $700 million movie should be a massive success for a film studio. It's crazy to think otherwise. That is a massive success for most other studios, because they're going in with a proper budget and a plan. And then when something like Kong X Godzilla, The New Empire, when that did 650, 700 at the box office, it was such a hit for them that they sped the next one up, so much so that they couldn't even get the same director to return because they had schedule conflicts, because they know their audience wants more. This was our best one yet. You did a 700 million, that's your best one yet, and you're throwing everything at the next one already. That's how it should be. The $1 billion movie should be an anomaly where everyone gets a bonus who worked on it for pulling that stunt off.
I thought
it's so rare.
20 now? $20 billion movies now that have crossed that? There's a lot.
I'll tell you what, two of them are Avatar, and 5 of them are Avatar if you add their billions up. No, but Infinity War and Endgame both did. I don't know. Did Infinity War hit the $1 billion? I know Endgame did.
I think so.
I think they both did.
Oh yeah.
Endgame hit $2 billion, I believe.
Endgame went over 2.
Yeah,
over 2.
Yeah, because Avatar 1's the biggest movie, then Endgame's the second biggest movie, then Avatar 3. I mean, Avatar 2 is in third place, and Zoe Saldana's in all of them. So that's your secret.
Avatar is number 1, 2.9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2.8 is Endgame.
Avengers Endgame is 2.8.
And you want to know what's funny, Paul?
Third, 2.3.
You know what's funny is when Avatar 3 comes out, you know what James Cameron's going to do?
Re-release the Avatar 1.
Yeah. And you know what's
inflate?
I mean, they've re-released Endgame multiple times in its first year of release.
It'll be the first $3 billion movie.
Because they wanted to get put up over that 2 billion mark, so they re-released it and said we threw in some bonus footage, and I think it was 10 seconds of unfinished CGI scene or something. I don't remember. I didn't go back and watch the extended stuff. I saw it a couple times in theaters. It was amazing. The last 45 minutes of that movie, at least, are amazing.
Number 11 is a movie called on the $1 billion list, Neza, with 1.6 billion, and I've never heard of this.
That's crazy.
Have you heard of that? Neza? It's like an animated Chinese film.
Yeah, it's a Chinese film.
It just came out. It just got released. It's the highest grossing animated film of all time now.
Wow.
And it's only been released in China. They haven't even released it anywhere else yet.
1.6 billion.
Yeah.
That's wild. Kevin's putting his prediction out for the $1 billion films this year: Avatar 3, Zootopia 2, and Jurassic Park 7.
I'm excited for Zootopia 2. Zootopia 1 was...
My wife just popped her head and said, Zootopia
2? Yeah, let's go.
Barbie movie.
No, I've never seen Barbie
movie. Inside Out 2. I still haven't watched that yet. The kids have watched it 1,000 times. They love
that's
it.
That's amazing. That one.
It was good.
It wasn't
really good.
That was more therapeutic for adults, I think. Inside Out 2. I was I need a nap after that movie.
Was it better than the first one, or just
it was? That was
the
better.
First one was amazing.
It was even
anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety.
What's up, big sis? We got Lady Fantastic popping in. We're getting to the end here, and we've gone an hour and 20. That's good enough for me. I got to work in the morning. I appreciate y'all's time. I don't want to take advantage of it, but go around the horn. Jay, go ahead and like pimp yourself out. I'm going to grab your link to drop in the chat while you do that.
I'll do that. I'll also promote my show. So we got our normal shows drops on alternate Saturdays at 7 p.m. on YouTube. We also have shorts and everything on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. It's at The Unchosen Ones. You can find us there on all the platforms. Or TUO Podcast also on Instagram.
Where do you prefer people follow the show, on YouTube or Spotify?
YouTube, definitely YouTube, yeah.
So I dropped the link for the YouTube channel. Guys, when I tell y'all, this is the most entertaining 1 hour you'll spend on YouTube. So he hosts the show with his brother, and they kind of recap the 2 weeks, and it's a chemistry that you can only get from having your sibling on a show with you. And it's the only way to describe it. It's amazing. Hit the link, give them a subscribe. I highly recommend just going back to episode 1.
Oh my God.
And starting there. Don't start at the new episode, because this show has lore, and this show builds on itself, and it just gets funnier as it goes. I can't stress it enough. It's my favorite show, and I like it better than my own show. But y'all got to check it out. Hit that link, give them a subscribe. Don't miss out. But DJ, how about Friday nights, man?
Friday nights, ladies and gentlemen, we have In the Mix, which is me, Mark from Legion of Comics, Nick, Kicks and Comics, Remy Q, and Tyler is an asterisk, and it doesn't say because the Avengers weren't available. Where we just talk shit for an hour and a half. That's what we do. Come check us out.
Have more fun on a Friday night than In the Mix. It's a great show.
And you're giving away a huge book.
Oh man, it's over there. For anybody that wants to join the channel, by the end of February, we're giving away Batman 171 CGC 3.5, which is the first Silver Age appearance of the Riddler. So anybody that joins the channel, we're going to draw for that the last Friday in February, or maybe the first Friday in March for that book. So anybody that wants to join, get in on that. Channel members appreciation prize. Other than that, I got videos dropping every Monday and just stuff.
John, tell them about Eric.
I will be happy to. Some of you guys know I've completed my first graphic novel. It's been done for quite a while now, actually, just waiting on the cover. I have some news even these guys don't know about for the cover. Might be yeah. I don't know what you guys do and don't know, but hopefully we're making that announcement soon. As soon as we can get this lady dressed up, we're kicking off Kickstarter. I could show you my LCS is kicking in some fire give that'll be added on to the Kickstarter. I don't know exact numbers, but first people in on the Kickstarter will be getting copies of these. Probably all 4, to be honest. My LCS is absolutely awesome. Starting up on the giveaways. This will be in the next couple days. So if you guys aren't, we'll do a take your pick giveaway to start it up. You like Black Adam? You want a little Venom action? We got a lot of stuff to give away for the Kickstarter campaign, but I'm hoping in the next 4 weeks. It's been a long, no channel, Herb, just IG. Yeah, the name is the name that's on the screen right now is my IG. Give me a follow. We'll do those giveaways.
Linked in the chat too. Anyone can just hit the link in the chat.
Okay, yeah, sick. Thank you, dude. So yeah, man, I got a cool trailer. Should we play it right now? No, if we want. We'll probably be showing that on Mark's channel. I think maybe some cool stuff from everybody. All three of you guys have been amazing supporters of the book and what's going on there. We'll do some sticker packs, some magnets, some stickers. Oh, those are magnets. These are magnets, but we got all kinds of stuff to give away. We got a lot of stuff to give away. So, here's this is a cool what's it called? That'll be on the Kickstarter. It'll be for the original printing of the book. I'm gonna sell every chapter page, chapter cover.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to promote yourself, give a donation, write a love letter to someone in your family, quote somebody, do something like a gift to somebody. Sorry, I'm trying to find the chapters. But we'll be doing, there's 6 chapters in the book. One of them is already kind of promised to somebody potentially, but those will be tiers and stuff that you can get in the Kickstarter. That'll be a cool little option, and those will go definitely into the first printing of the book. So if you want to do stuff like that, there's a couple more tier stuff that hopefully go in there. Maybe some virgin covers and some individual chapters will be printed with like some original artwork in there and stuff like that. So I'm really, really stoked for this. I've been working on this forever. I mean, some of you guys, I think I've talked about the story before, but maybe some little backstory on how big of a passion project this was. I actually wrote this like 12 years ago. And then it took, total art time took about 4.5 years of art. And, with my measly salary, it's been more than a year's worth of pay, maybe more. So super excited to get this out to everybody. The Kickstarter, since it'll just be paying for the printing, and then any revenue that I can get from it will immediately go into the next book that I'm really excited to get rolling. I actually have 3 more written already. Figuring out artists at the moment, trying to figure out it, but can't wait for the Kickstarter and to get it rolling get it in you guys' hands.
What's the website to buy some merch if they want to support you that way?
All right, if you want to go to comicavalon.com, that's where you can kind of catch some updates. I did update that page and it actually dumped everything, so it's still kind of being updated. There's a little subscribe thing for updates that you can click on and put in your email. If you sign up for that, you'll get a free ash can when we do through the Kickstarter. So if you want to go to that, you can snag one there. And right now, the merch stuff is all print on demand, so it's not something I'm trying to like monetize or anything like that. But if you want anything customized, at least before we do the Kickstarter, and you want to grab something in there, let me know. We got the hats. We got the mouse mats. I think the mouse mats are the coolest thing, but you probably want to be a gamer for stuff like that. But hit me up on Instagram. I'll customize anything you want for you and make it exactly how you want it to look and stuff like that, which I think would be cool. But yeah, the book, super excited. I don't know if you want me to run down what the book's about, because we kind of did that before, but it's a sci-fi epic set in the near future with basically 2 divergent sets of human beings, and the simplest pitch is it's a father trying to save his son. So there's a lot of it's quite the hero's journey to get to the end. But the guys on the top row have read it. Jay, we'll get you a digital copy if you're interested.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Get you reading it. But
it's a great story. I'm excited for people to actually for it to be released and people to read it. It's just a great story.
Yeah, let's show some sneak peek pages for some people. This is my favorite. The art is unbelievable in this page. This is don't want to show too much, but
that's good because it's blurry anyways.
Yeah, it's kind of blurred out, but you got some stuff out in the later part.
You can also hit the website and see some preview images too. But it is a really cool story. It leaves you wanting more too. I hope it's a huge success. We'll definitely be promoting the shit out of it as it get closer to Kickstarter and all that stuff. We'll be pimping you out around that.
I like it. I'll take it. Do whatever we can to get this thing going. But
you got a mouth to feed.
I got But yeah, I actually had some. If you guys follow me on Instagram a little bit, you can see some of the people that have read the book recently, and I've been getting some really good feedback from the industry and stuff like that. And who knows where this is going to lead to, but I'm really, really excited for the next step, and can't wait to get it in you guys' hands. That's it. Super excited.
Paul, what do you got coming up tomorrow on the deep dive?
Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on my channel, Mark and I will be talking about Absolute Batman number 5. We are one issue away from the end of Scott Snyder's and Nick Dragotta's first story arc on Absolute Batman. So looking forward to that. This is not a Guest IQ week, but we'll have it next Wednesday at 9. We're on every other Wednesday at 9 o'clock on my channel.
Who are the guests?
We have I would need to go back and look, to be honest.
Perfect. They sound fantastic.
They are. They'll be
very
really
memorable. Yeah. And
as
always,
show Guess the Guest.
Yeah, guess the guest. And as always, 3 streams a week right here every Sunday night. Tuesday at 2 p.m. for the new DC Day stream, weekly giveaway. If you like DC Comics, that's the place to be. Then every Friday morning for the open hangout with just the community. He's kicking it, starting the weekend off right. And then content in between. And don't forget, this is the Captain America month, celebrating the movie releasing this month. That means the big channel member appreciation prize is Captain America themed, featuring the first appearance of John Walker, the first appearance of Sam Wilson as Captain America, and a whole lot more. You can check out some of those things on my IG page if you want to see more of them. But that's going to do it for tonight. I appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for your time. And it's been real. It's been fun. Until next time. Peace.